Hello and welcome. Hope you're doing all good. I am absolutely fine. It's a nice afternoon on Friday, so going to sort this irrigation out. This could be seen as Irrigation Rig.2 Part 2. So for anyone who hasn't seen the previous one, essentially I want to rig the irrigation up off of rainwater because the ferns like it slightly acidic for the most part, and we've got quite hard water around here. But what I've actually done is, because I'm going to have tree ferns and other such joyous stuff going on, I need the pressure for it. So I've split the irrigation into two runs. One is on the ground, and we'll do anything under the height of the water butt over there. The other one, as you can see going up there, which will water that and spray over the tree ferns over there in that flower bed. That one needs to be under pressure, so yeah, I'll rig it up off a pump in the end, but just for now I'm going to run it off the outside tap. So yeah, today all I'm going to do, last time I just bought a coil of pipe and just reeled it all out roughly, as you can see, took out that fence post there. It then runs all the way around the back into that back cupboard, and then I added on a bit just for where the ticky edge is off of the original circuit. So what I'm going to do now is run round and tidy it all up basically, and just do it so that I can just forget about it this summer, and then I'll put a pump on it over winter and it'll all be ready just to hook up for timings and sensors and whatever else I'm going to try and do. So yeah, essentially the way I'm going to go about it is, first thing I'm going to do is turn on the gravity circuit, check that that ticky head gets water, because essentially it's just one long pipe and it starts over there, runs behind me into that flower bed, behind all that, into that flower bed, under the barrier, into that flower bed, across to that flower bed under the bags, and then runs all the way around the back, does that flower bed, runs under the patio, and then comes towards us along the trellis, and the last dripper is in that ticky head on the right. So as long as that gets water to it, I know all the rest are going to get water to it. So I'll turn that one on first, check if anything I've done in the last week or anything from over winter has got any leaks in it, and sort all of that stuff out. Then I'll do the same with the high pressure one. That should be quite easy because that starts on the outside tap behind me, and then it's just one bit of pipe all the way through to that seat where the fat cedera is, literally behind that. I could have gone a foot further and made it nice and easy, but it's yeah, dead behind that fat cedera. And then it just runs up. As you can see, no joins running up, there's just a join at the top. You can see that weird elbow I've got on it. It's got a little shut off valve up there because I'm going to rig some sprinklers up to see what the best height and all that is for the tree ferns, for the for the sprinklers. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you any mishaps, have a general look around of it, and go from there. So my next bit at the moment is I'll just expose everything. So any pipe that's been buried over winter with me messing around, pull that seat out, pull that bench out because there's a couple of joins down there, and fire it up. Okay, mostly alright on the gravity circuit, just this annoying little leak, which as always is in the most awkward place, and I know why it is. It's because I can only get my hand on it over this side where that T is, so there's, I don't know, 8 inches of pipe there, and because I'm holding it here, if I push it too hard from the left, the pipe will kink, so I need to have my hand where that rock is and get it right on there. So that's annoying. Or I could chop that out, move the straight down here where that blue tape is, and then just put a longer bit of pipe across to that T. That might be easier and better, although could take that yeah, I'll sort it out. But other than that, that looks pretty good. Okay, patched that all up. I suddenly had a flash of genius, if you want to call it that, or just common sense. I didn't need that straight in the end because I chopped it off the T the other side of the wall, and there's a T right there, so I just put one long bit of pipe in there. So I've gained a straight connector, which is good. Next thing I'm going to do is test the high pressure irrigation, which is going to be this thing. Yeah, just got a little stop valve up there. And then the whole point of this is, because it's on 2 elbows, I can do any, sorry, I'll stand back, I can do any sort of configuration with it. So I've got a sprayer on the bottom, that's a 90-degree sprayer, but it means that I can sort of hold it like that, move it like that, go like that, go like that, sorry, go like that, and try and find the perfect angle for watering the tree ferns, and that just give them a spray up high, and then I can cut all that in properly, and then hopefully it'll be ready for, you know, summer, just to you know, turn on and when, as and when I need it, and I won't have to sit there with a hose. So yeah, let's turn it on and see what happens. Oh yeah, I should just say as well, the high pressure one comes off the tap. T's behind all of that. There's nothing in there. It's just one long pipe, comes all the way at the back of here. You can just see it at the back of the seats there, running down that channel on the left. Runs up there, goes up the side of there into a pre-made hole, and then comes up above there as well. So for that, but I think I mentioned last time, that looks absolutely fantastic. That's an Ario Stega probably Pinata, so there you go. Okay, right, I think we found the right height for this. I've had a little mess around with it. I'm getting soaking wet because it's leaking up above me, but I'm going to chop all that out. That is getting all the tree ferns, this whole bed, so that's pretty good. So it needs to be on the point of the fence post, facing outwards, and what's that, about an inch below the zip tie, something like that. So remember that. Right, I'm getting soaked. Okay, so I think we can all agree that that looks a lot better already. If we go over and see how I've done it, if you want. So it runs at the back of the post, so no one can see it. Obviously, well, no, people can see it, but not when you're just sat down. That ivy there, I'll push that back up when I'm done, and eventually that will cover all of that. So you can see the one that's going to have the spray for the Cyaphias and tree ferns. I've put a stop valve on it so I can adjust the flow on it so it doesn't hit the fence so much, because it only needs to do the flower bed. With the two elbows being there, I can sort of move it around a bit more flexibly to get exactly the right angle on it. And then I've got just cut-in T's for these drippers, which will just drip into there. I've put it on these clips, talon clips as they're called, rather than these ones, nail clips, because if I need to cut any T's into that in future, I can pop the pipe out nice and easy and get the play to get the fittings on. So yeah, for now that one's sort of all ready to go. So what I'll do with the high pressure line now, I'll do it a test, one more test now I've done all of that, and then I'll put all the drippers and sprayers in. Yeah, if you are actually thinking of doing this at any time, this is what I bought the first time round. So this is the Kleber Auto Drip Kit. You can get it from B&Q for 50-60 quid. But you can see what you get there, whether you get the hose connector, you get 25 meters of pipe, 6 shut-off valves, elbows, T's, blanks, pegs, the little skewer thing, little blanks for if you make a mistake, and then 40 drippers and 20 drubbers as they call them. So it's a good little starter kit, and then just add on to it as you go. Yeah, so I'm going to test that, do what I just said I'm going to do, see what I'm left with, and go from there with regard to, do I do anything more now, or do I wait, order all the fittings I'm going to need, and go from there. So yeah, fun and games. Okay, right, high pressure stuff is in and going as much as I need it to. So we have a little look. You can see on the top bed they're all nicely dripping in there. I can also turn them up and down as much as I want them to drip, and this little sprinkler thing you can just see going is getting both trunks of the tree ferns and this little Dixonia down here, which is all I wanted it to do, so that's happy days. Ideally I'd like to do the leaves, but I think I'll get some misting sprays, you know, just to create mist and put them up high, and I might actually do that above all the Cyaphias as well. And then that can just sort of be a misty, and it had quite a good little effect in the end. I think I've got quite good ideas for that. So yeah, we'll do that, but I'm happy with that. You can see I've got a few leaks here and there, not just that, but it's actually leaking out of the stop tap bit there, but the way I see it is that it's all water and stuff at the moment, so I'll go around and do one final tidy right when I've got all the last fittings and that. So next thing, I've cut the pipe in over on the flower bed in Camellia Corner, so it's not all horrific. I'm going to go and put the droppers in that. I have put the droppers in the Ario Stega up there behind the washing line. So that's all good. So yeah, pretty happy with that for now. I'll put the droppers in all the new stuff now, test out the gravity irrigation, and then I'll have a little think and list of all the other stuff I need. And yeah, so with this thing, yeah, the good thing about this little stop tap is that I can obviously turn it up and down. So you'll see if I turn it up, you probably hear it's going a lot farther and a lot higher and sort of coming right out past the tree fern. I don't need it to do that, so if I turn it down I can just do that if I wanted to and do the Cyathea. If I go a little bit more, I can't get the right one now, but that's in and around right. So yeah, happy days. Okay, morning all. This is the next day. I've done about all I can do. You can see that I've not got many fittings left now. That's the small pipe and the small pegs I'm going to use to run at the back of tree ferns when I eventually get them, you know, Dixonias, and just have a dropper running into the top. I don't need them for a while. Otherwise I've got loads of little sprayers, but they sort of do 180 and 360, so I haven't really got any use for them at the particular moment. And as you can see there, I've got a few pegs. I found that connector that I'd lost for the, you know, to attach it to the tap. One stop tap that's old, 2 T's and 2 straight connectors. So can't really do anything more. Haven't got particularly any more pipe. So over here, as stated yesterday, I've changed this around a little bit. I'll try and get some angles on it, but it comes up there. There's a dripper there, that's why it's dripping. Elbow there, comes down, loops around here. You can see I've got a dripper there, one down in the bottom left, goes up elbow. Behind all that, I'll obviously tidy all this up properly, but for now, that's what the pegs would be for. But for now, we've got one dropper. I ran out of droppers as well, so there's one between, just to the left of that sensor. You can just see it dripping there between the Erythrosaura and the Cyathea. Then I've got one in this bottom right corner by the little bit of pipe between the Cyathea and the Lepidopoda, and then one at the top by the little plant pot behind the Aphenis. I'm not sure if that's an Aphenis or a Felix Massa male fern, but I ran out of elbows, so all I've had to do for now, luckily it's in a bit that's not too obstructive, but I've just sort of run it up and over the top, bent it round, and then 2 of these big ones in with the bamboo, and then it ends up there. So apart from clipping all of that and going around and sort of getting all the adjustments on them right, and the beauty of this sort of irrigation system is it's really efficient, and you know, places like the bananas and the Cyatheas and Dixonias, I can turn them up to the max, you know, so them doing maximum drops, and then where there's the established ferns and stuff like that, I can turn them right down, and then I can give everything the right amount of water in the same amount of time, if that makes sense. But rather embarrassingly, going on from that, I've actually run out of rainwater. The barrel over there is not empty, but it's only up to the tap. I couldn't put that tap. Let's go over there and have a look. The tap that I've put in there, the big brass one, I couldn't actually put it anywhere else because it's like curved the bottom of the barrel. So if I did put it in there, I'm not sure the contact would be great, and even if it was, the stop tap would come out at a funny angle. It wouldn't be dead horizontal, so that was about as low as I can go. So the lesson I've learned is, because it's obviously rained a lot over the last 6 months, but just not the last 2 or 3 weeks, when I've been doing quite a lot of planting and I've been using watering cans of that to water everything in every night and stuff like that. So that tells me that I need way more capacity, which is fine, because I've planned to put 3 or 4 water butts. I may even look into a proper sort of tank rather than water butts out the front, and then I'll link them up. So that should give me quite a lot, but we'll do, hopefully. I mean, the thing is that's a bit annoying is that I'm not convinced it's actually going to rain again for the next 6 months. So yeah, I'm sure it will, but yeah, I got a feeling it might not. So, you know, at the end of the day, if I have to run it off the tap for this summer, then, you know, it is what it is, but I'll be prepared for next year basically. So a few little annoying bits, but this drip is going all right. This area here actually is a bit funny. It's not this area that comes round the back of the cyathea there and then cuts towards us over this flower bed, it's not in there particularly well, but it'll do for now. And what I'm going to do today actually is take that patio up, level it off properly, and put the membrane down, and then put the patio back down on it after. So that's just in its final place for now. Also what I'm going to do is, I've got some sand and topsoil, so I'm going to make a nice sandy mix up, brush it all in over the grass, and try and get that, because really what I want to do is try and use this as a kind of, I'm going to try and make a rudimentary putting green out of it this year. I think I'll only get 1 year because of the amount of stuff that drops off that tree. I don't think I'm going to be able to keep it going for years and years and years. So as the grass is new, we're going to try that as a little thing just to keep me out of trouble. Other than that, I'm going to go and get some manure and other such joyous things, put all the plants in, and yeah, go from there really. Hopefully it'll all be all right. But yeah, there you go. So just a quick video. It's all pretty much there. There's a few annoying leaks here and there, but I've ordered some stuff online. I don't think it's going to come today because I haven't had the delivery notes, you know, the delivery thing saying it'll turn up. So this will have to wait. But what I might do is, when I've got it all in there the final time, is just, you know, go around, sort everything out, all the annoying little leaks and drips that we got, and then that'll be ready to go. So yeah, the main thing is that that pole looks really nice, and I can water those ferns without watering them, if that makes sense. So yeah, anyway, going to be hopefully a good day today in the garden. Make sure I get my axe. It looks like it's going to be hot. Hope you all enjoy your days. Right, until next time.